to start with today's decision?
Sure. We just obviously got the guidance from the governor banning gatherings over 250 people. As a result, we're going to be postponing our match against Dallas on March 21st, and we are going to be playing our game. We have a Defiance game, our reserve team, in Tacoma tonight. San Diego is already in town, so the decision has been made, and we've obtained permission to play that game behind closed doors tonight. Decisions on, we would also announce here, though, that the March 22 Defiance game will be postponed, and that's the immediate reaction. We've also canceled our academy games for this weekend.
You expect to play in Houston?
As of this moment, the situation is fluid, and we will stay in touch with all authorities. But as of this moment, that is what's planned. We've taken extra precautions there as well, and we're going to travel via charter with only essential personnel down to Houston.
The March 21st game. Did you consider playing it in front of an empty stadium?
That was not a consideration at this time.
Why is that, given the Defiance decision was made that way?
The Defiance is a very special case. So we literally got the decision this morning. As you guys know, on an official basis, San Diego was already here, and so the decision was made on this one to go ahead. And to be clear, the next Defiance game has been postponed. So that is going to be the regular course of business. We will err on the side of caution and toward a postponement. But tonight, for this one game, we're going to play closed door with Defiance.
What's been the communication as far as how is there a timeline to the postponement? 2 weeks and then everything's clear, then you can play after that, or?
Unfortunately, I don't think anyone knows right now, Jada. The governor's order was for 30 days, and so we'll be evaluating again in real time, and not just us. We're coordinating with MLS, we're coordinating with other sports leagues, we're coordinating with the public health authorities. And look, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to the governor and to the mayor, to the county executive, and thank him for their leadership, because I think they've been very calm and level-headed and data-driven in terms of how they've approached this, and we're going to follow that guidance as closely as we possibly can.
With the Houston travel, is there a deadline to when you need to know? I'm thinking that chartering the flight gives you a lot of options, but that's
Well, one of the options, yes, charter does provide more flexibility, but again, I want to stress that as of right now, that game is going ahead. We plan to play in Houston this weekend.
So a couple different leagues now have started canceling games, but for you guys, it seems like MLS, maybe the game day revenue is maybe a larger part of the overall business model than it is for other leagues. How much consideration do you think that plays into closed doors versus postponed, and how much impact does it have on you guys as a business if you're forced to start to play games behind closed doors and for protecting there?
Yeah, so, look, the first thing that's very important to say is that what we care about most is the public health and well-being of our fans, our staff, and our players, and that's what drives these decisions. Clearly, stuff like this is going to have an impact not just on our business, but on lots of businesses, right? And I think the governor was pretty open about that and about trying to find a sensible strategy around that. Again, as to what we're going to do going forward, it's really tough to say, and we'll be weighing things. But again, I also want to stress, Matt, that this isn't us. We have our internal task force that was established that Peter Tamazawa referenced when we talked to you guys after the last game. We have contingency plans laid out for all this stuff, including financial models. But ultimately, this decision is going to be made with MLS. It's going to be made with other sports teams in Seattle. It's going to be made with other sports leagues, and it's going to be made with public health authorities. So there's just not a simple answer of, are you going to do this or are you going to do that? We are going to be as much as humanly possible in lockstep with the health authorities and what they recommend as the guiding principle.
If the ban continues long term, when would you consider canceling games?
Again, we just don't know. The governor wasn't sure how long. It's an initial period of 30 days, and I think right now the most important thing is to be calm here. We are taking measures out of an abundance of caution, and we are trying to keep everybody as absolutely safe as we can. We want to flatten the curve of the spread of this disease so we don't overwhelm our healthcare facilities. And we are going to be part of that. The community is going to be part of that. And I think that the governor did a great job today of saying that the community has to do this collectively. This isn't something that's going to be enforced through martial law. This is something that we all have to own and participate in. And as a good citizen in the community, that's certainly what we're going to strive for as well.
what's been the feedback from fans, or have you received any calls about this or support?
So for fans, whenever the game against Dallas is rescheduled, your ticket will be good at that time for that game. For anybody else that wants to exchange a ticket, call your customer service representative, and we'll try to accommodate individual requests as best we can.
Are you concerned
all this could cost the franchise a lot of money?
Again, our primary motivation right now is the health and safety of the community, our players, and our staff. Will there be economic impacts? Sure. But again, I think speculating about what might happen or what might happen, I mean, the whole purpose of taking this action right now, proactively, is to hopefully flatten the curve and limit the impact of this disease. And if we can do that, then that's what's in everyone's best interest. This is not about the Sounders. This is about the community again and what is in everyone's best interest. We all need to collectively, I think, certainly as a company, we need to shoulder our responsibility for our part of that.
Have there been any discussions about relaxing or modifying the charter travel rules in light of some of the issues that you're dealing with? Those
discussions are ongoing, Mickey. No decisions have been made, but again, it's a fluid situation, and certainly we took this action. We were originally on a commercial flight, and we took action to switch to a charter flight to protect our players as best we could.
Yeah, and you guys are obviously taking extra precautions here, but what happens if somebody around the team ends up testing positive for the virus? You guys, what sort of contingencies?
So, look, we're given the same common sense guidance that everyone else is. Wash your hands, social distancing. That's why you guys are not hugging me today. In a locker room environment, you have to be extra vigilant. So again, special things we put in place. The guys are not sharing towels. They're not sharing water bottles. Everyone has their own individual hand sanitizer. So we are taking measures to try to enforce these individual protections as much as possible. Again, speculating, we have contingency plans is the answer, Matt, as to how we would handle things. But again, given that the advice literally changed this morning, I think it's prudent of us to say, hey, we have a couple of things in mind, and as those things become necessary, we'll put them into place.
No one's been tested.
To my knowledge, from what I understand, in Seattle, it's still difficult as a healthy individual to get tested, and we want to direct those tests toward the most critical cases. So certainly no one on the team, to my knowledge, has requested any kind of test, and no one is sick. So that's been a positive for us so far.
Do you guys have any plans for when this game might be rescheduled? And looking ahead, if games start to really get postponed, you guys look at filling international dates? What's kind of the contingency plan there if it's really starting to get pushed?
Sure, and again, I want to be clear. We want to approach this very calmly and very rationally based on what we know today. We are being proactive. We are trying to take all these actions out of an abundance of caution. And so speculating about what might happen a couple of months from now, we don't have the information. And again, I don't think that's the right message to send. Again, we have contingency plans. We're looking at those things, Matt. I think the common sense answer is, sure, international breaks. Do you extend the season? There's things you can consider, but those things are not on the table right now, precisely because we are trying to be proactive to try to flatten this curve, to try to mitigate the impact on our community, and we want to be a good partner with everyone else in protecting the health and safety of our fans, our players, and our staff.
As far as the Houston game, would there be a possibility that would be played behind closed doors? Have you had any discussions about that potential outcome?
Sorry, Mickey, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. That possibility has not been discussed. And sorry, to be clear, there are contingency plans, again, in place for every possible scenario. But again, that is not what is going to happen as of this moment. The game is going to be played in front of fans in Houston. Again, this has changed every day, so I want to be cautious and say that it could evolve. The situation is fluid, but we are going down to Houston with the intention of playing in front of fans.
With fans, with reach out, and them returning, they support your decision.
I apologize, Jade, I lost some of that with the trade.
Are fans supportive of your decision, or have you heard anything in that respect?
Unfortunately, this is happening in real time. I mean, the governor just walked off stage an hour ago. So, we went out here to meet you guys and talk to you. So we don't have a lot of fan reaction right now. I think Peter Tamazawa, did a great job talking after the game last time and saying, hey, of the people who chose to come to the Sounders game, they were really enthusiastic and they had a great time and a great experience. And, they valued the idea of getting out of their house. But again, now those things have to be balanced against what's good for the community, right? And is now, the guidance has changed. It is not a recommendation. It is a mandate to close gatherings over 250, and we are fully supportive of that, and will continue to follow any health guidance that's given by the public health authorities, the governor, the mayors, or the county commissioner.